Soldiers of the 12th Azov Special Forces Brigade of the National Guard of Ukraine captured 20 Russian soldiers in the Toretsk sector of the Donetsk region. They were lucky to survive, but most of their comrades are still lying in the fields and forests after unsuccessful assaults, the statement said. The brigade emphasized that voluntary surrender is the only chance for the Russian military to return home alive and be exchanged for Ukrainian defenders. In any other case, the members of the 12th Azov Special Forces Brigade will take care of eliminating enemy targets in their area, Azov representatives emphasized. Among the prisoners are a platoon commander, a squad commander, riflemen, rifle drivers, and grenade launchers. Some of the prisoners are from the Caucasus or Far Eastern regions of Russia. Most of them served in the 9th Separate Guards Motorized Rifle Brigade, which was formed on the basis of the 9th Separate Marine Regiment of the so-called Donetsk People's Republic. The brigade is now part of the 51st Guards Combined Arms Army of the Russian Federation, which was formed on the basis of the 1st Army Corps of the Donetsk People's Republic. On January 16th, Militarny reported on another large group of prisoners captured by Azov members in the same area. At that time, Azov soldiers captured 23 Russian invaders. It was noted that the Russians surrendered voluntarily. Some of them were found in basements. Others were captured during assaults on enemy positions.
Командир взвода, старший лейтенант Аникеев Алексей Вадимович, 4 марта 1998 года рождения, город Иркутск. Мы, военнослужащие Российской Федерации, находимся в плену у украинской армии, и мы хотим, чтобы нас обменяли на бойцов 12-й бригады специального назначения Азов, Национальной гвардии Украины.
Ukraine has obtained large numbers of Soviet-era shells and rockets from Syria, according to a Russian war blogger. The supplies are likely to have come from the stockpiles of the former Syrian Arab army, perhaps via Turkey. The Russian Vault 8 Telegram channel writes that Ukraine no longer lacks ammunition for some of its legacy Soviet artillery systems. Quite unexpectedly, after the fall of the Assad regime in Syria and the defeat of the Syrian Arab army, the Ukrainians acquired a very impressive number of shells of some types for Soviet systems. Now they can again, as in early 2022, afford to fire at a target such as an assault group in salvos of 10 to 15 rockets from the Grad, and at important targets with a full package of 40 rockets without constraining themselves. They are also doing well with 155mm ammunition, judging by the video from the Kursk region. Having 20 to 30 shells per gun is a luxury, a dream. Assuming the report is accurate, the most likely explanation would be that the munitions have been exported to Ukraine via Turkey, presumably with the knowledge of the Turkish government. Turkey has been a significant supplier of weapons to Ukraine. Commie clowns in Crimea are visited by drones. Ukraine's got these badass kamikaze drones buzzing into Crimea like a swarm of pissed-off hornets, destroying radar and armored trucks like it's a goddamn demolition derby. And then, oh, this is rich. The enemy rolls out their fancy Pantsir-S rocket launcher, all cocky like, I got this. Bam. Fires twice. Hits the frickin' dirt both times, while that drone's just laughing its ass off, zipping away. What a bunch of losers. Couldn't hit a barn if they were parked inside it. Zelensky's press conference following the Coalition of the Willing summit. Key points. President Zelensky said the U.S. keeps changing the terms of the critical minerals agreement. It seemed we had agreed on a framework deal followed by a full one. Now the U.S. is proposing to sign a full agreement immediately, which requires further review. There will be no lifting of any sanctions against Russia until the war ends with a just peace. This is the signal from European countries. According to Zelensky, the number of countries willing to contribute to a peacekeeping contingent is increasing. Security guarantees are one of the main topics of the summit. France and the United Kingdom are key accelerators of this process. These summits are laying the foundation for peace. We will open production platforms for drones not only in Ukraine but also abroad. Ukraine's position is very clear. Europe must be at the negotiating table when it comes to ending the war. without exception. We are not considering other initiatives. Zelensky noted that France and the UK will represent Europe. Putin is not ready for direct negotiations. We are not afraid of any format of talks. We understand the complexity. On the negotiations in Saudi Arabia, it was important for us to unblock assistance, regain access to intelligence, and demonstrate that we seek to end the war through diplomacy, to stop further loss of life. On a temporary ceasefire, I don't believe these are reasonable agreements. Today, there were strikes on Kherson, on the train station and the energy infrastructure. The city lost power. I believe there should be a response from the United States. It's called leaving the state of geopolitical minority. It's a good thing for Europe. President Macron.
As I told you several weeks ago, we are at a decisive moment in history where we need, for the first time in a very long time in our discussions, to prepare for a scenario that is possible, which is not the one we wish for, but one where we might have to act entirely on our own. It's called the exit from the state of geopolitical minority. It's a good thing for Europe.
Explosions in Poltava caused partial blackouts. Russians attacked the city with Shaheds. Another energy truce from Russia. This is pure Russian terror. Ukraine will present evidence of Russia violating the energy ceasefire to the US, expecting a response. Zelensky. He announced this in Paris after the Coalition of the Willing Summit. High-rise buildings shake, and under construction skyscrapers collapse in the Thai capital of Bangkok, following a massive 7.7 magnitude earthquake earlier, which struck the border between Myanmar and Thailand. There is no word yet on casualties or further damage to countries in Southeast Asia, though the threat of a tsunami is determined to be low.
Ừ, ตึกถล่มมาแล้ว ตึกอะไรวะเนี่ยถล่ม
เฮ้ย เฮ้ย
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.